Hello guys, it is me again, it's HorrorFan34, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to day 8 of this Thankskilling 10-day challenge that was created by Brother Peanut Butter. Now, of course, before, in case you guys are new to what this series of videos are, basically what this is like I said in the other videos, Brother Peanut Butter created a challenge where for 10 days for November, for the month of Thanksgiving, for 10 days from the 12th to the 22nd, you review one horror film per day. And with each horror film that you review, it's a different kind of genre of horror. Like different kinds of categories, I guess, is the best way to put it. Best way I can describe it is each day it's a brand new category of a horror movie. Because, like, you know, like day 1 was like slashers, day 2 was creature features, day 3 was sci-fi horror, day 4 was Italian horror, day 5 was, I think that was the one with Korean and Japanese horror, and then day 6 was French horror films, and yesterday, day 7, was independent horror films. So now that we are on day 8, this is going to be the horror comedy genre. And I figured, you know what, this would be a good one to talk about that has both horror and comedy in it, because there are so many horror films out there that have a good mixture of horror and comedy in them. I mean, you can go like The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox, or you can go, you know, Dead Alive. I mean, that's horror, comedy, things like that. But I figured this would be a good one to talk about, because I've been meaning to review this film for quite a while. This was my favorite film of 2017, and of course you can already tell by the title that review is going to be on Get Out. Now, Get Out, like I said, was released back in 2017, directed by Jordan Peele, who actually won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, which is pretty cool. So at least, yeah, Get Out won Academy Award, which is awesome. So that's pretty cool that this won an Academy Award. It deserves it. You know, basically, you know, the cast of the film, you have Daniel Kaluuya, Daniel Kaluuya is really becoming one of my personal favorite, like, actors of the current generation. You know, really good in Sicario and Black Panther, and just recently in Widows. I mean, Daniel Kaluuya's been popping up in a lot of stuff, and Daniel Kaluuya does a great job in this. You have Allison Williams as his girlfriend and her parents. You have Bradley Whitford, he was the bad guy in Billy Madison. He was in Cabin in the Woods. He's been in a lot of other stuff. And you have Catherine Keener as the mom, you know, from the 40-Year-Old Virgin, among other stuff. And then other characters in the film, you have Laurel Howery as Rod, who is Chris's buddy. And you have other people. You have Stephen Root, who was, you know, Gordon in Dodgeball. You know, you gotta get me, and I guess I'm not an angry person. And he elbows him. He's like, "You angry now?" The guy he elbows, I'm like, oh, that's Stephen Root from Dodgeball. And you also have, you know, Lakeith Stanfield, who you might know from a couple of other films. So you have a couple side characters here and there that you'll probably recognize. And, you know, Get Out is really one of those films that I think is I just adore. It's become actually not only one of my personal favorite horror films, but also one of my personal favorite movies of all time. I mean, I love this film a lot. I mean, if you don't know the story and you don't know what the plot is about, you know, you have Daniel Kaluuya plays Chris, who is going to visit his girlfriend's parents. You know, his girlfriend's Rose, played by Allison Williams, and they're going to go visit her parents, who are, you know, Bradley Whitford and Catherine Keener. But when he gets up there, things seem weird. The parents are really weird or awkward. And then it comes to this whole point where he finds out, like, what's really going on up there, and, you know, things like that. It's a really well done film. Getting on to the cast itself, I mean, first you got Daniel Kaluuya as Chris. You know, Daniel Kaluuya does a great job as the lead. I really enjoy him as Chris. You have Allison Williams, who I thought does a great job in this as well. You know, Bradley Whitford and Catherine Keener do a good job as the parents. And without a doubt, the best character in this film, this is the main reason why this film is a horror comedy, is because of Lil Rel Howery, who plays Rod, who is Chris's best friend, who works for TSA. I mean, Rod, you know, the character of Rod is without a doubt the best character, my favorite character of the movie. You know, he just comes across as a genuinely likable guy, but also he has those really good comedy chops. You know, he just comes across as naturally funny. You know, it's like, he would say like things that like the audience would think. You know, it's like one of those things is like, man, you gotta get out of there. You know, I mean, I told you not to go in the house. You know, I like the way that he delivers his lines. It just comes off as genuinely funny, and the character is really likable too. I mean, Rod is without a doubt easily my favorite character of this whole movie. And I think, you know, Lil Rel Howery does a great job. Just a really great, and he's actually a comedian in real life, so he definitely has those comedian chops, and he does a great job. He's great comic relief, but he's a good comic, like that's comic relief done the right way. You know, when he comes across as genuinely funny. You know, a lot of this movie does have serious tones, but when it gets to like actual comedy, when it gets to Lil Rel Howery, it's funny. It comes off as genuinely funny, and because like the way he delivers his lines, you know, he's a smart character. He's got good comedic chops, and I think, you know, Lil Rel Howery does a great job in this. And I also really enjoyed him in Uncle Drew this year, which was a lot of fun. I really do say Jordan Peele, for a first-time director, I think this is the first time he's directed a film, because I know he was involved with the movie Keanu with Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele. But Jordan Peele, you know, coming off of Key and Peele, which is a comedy skit, this is a horror movie, and he does a great job. I think he does a wonderful job directing this, and it's very well written too. I can definitely see why this film was nominated for an Academy Award or not even just nominated, but also won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, because it's a very well written film, and he got some really weird, creepy scenes, like, you know, like when Chris is at the house and he's like he wakes up in the middle of the night and he's going outside and he sees like there's two people that work for the parents. And then you see like the groundskeeper guy kind of like just running at him, and then he like turns this way and runs this way. You know, you have the female servant who works as like a maid. She acts really weird. You have Stephen Root's character as a blind guy who runs this like art dealership and who's really interested in Chris's work, because Chris is a photographer and things like that. So, you know, it's one of those films, like, too, I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to ruin anything about this film, because if you haven't seen it yet, I mean, I highly recommend you check this film out. But it's very well acted, very well written, a very fresh original idea. It's directed very well by Jordan Peele. It's got some good horror elements as well as some good comedy bits in there as well. So it's a good mixture of horror and comedy. The ending to this is fantastic. The whole finale is just fantastic. And also on this Blu-ray, this actually has the alternate ending, which I kind of knew the alternate ending going into, because like I already heard about the alternate ending before this was released on Blu-ray. So, you know, and hearing about the alternate ending, I probably wouldn't have liked this movie as much if it had that alternate ending, because that was actually the original ending they were supposed to go with, was the alternate ending, but then they changed it, which I'm glad they did, because I like the way that this film ends in the theatrical version. It's a great send-off. It's a fantastic ending. I love the way that it ends in the theater version, so I'm glad they changed the ending. But if you want to look up what that's all about, then you can go look that up yourself. I'm not going to spoil that. But, you know, Get Out is one of those films I just can't say much more about. It's a very well-done film. So, that is pretty much it for my review for Get Out, and thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, take care.